In this video, I'm going to give an animated summary of the book The 4 Disciplines of Execution, authored by Chris McChesney, Steven Covey, Jim Huling, Scott Thel and Beverly Walker. Welcome to the Peak Performance Channel, the place where you come to be inspired to create a more prosperous future. In order to be wealthy, you need to learn how to execute your plans correctly and quickly. Businesses often fail to achieve their objectives not because they lack the ability, but because they don't execute properly. You need to be clear about what your goals are and single-minded in your pursuit of them. This means eliminating distractions and staying laser-focused on what's most important. The 4 disciplines of execution are a framework that can help you to achieve this. They involve setting clear goals, focusing on the most important activities, maintaining disciplined teams, and staying on course. By following these disciplines, you can develop the habits and mindset necessary for success. Now, I'd like to introduce you to the 4 disciplines of execution. Discipline 1. Focus on the wildly important. Focus on a few goals that will make a big difference instead of trying to do many things without succeeding at any of them. To succeed, you need to focus, because without focus, the other 3 disciplines won't be able to help you. Focusing on the important things means narrowing down and choosing just a few goals to accomplish each day. This takes discipline because it's easy to be tempted to do more than you need to. But if you apply more energy to fewer goals, you're more likely to reach them. This is because when it comes to setting goals, there's a lot of competition for your attention. And just like gravity pulls things down, all these competing demands can pull you in different directions and keep you from achieving your goals. Science has shown that the human brain can only focus on one thing at a time. You can't concentrate on driving and talking on the phone or juggling multiple tasks at once. Our culture of multitasking is making it harder to focus on one task. This is because the neural circuits used for multitasking are getting stronger, while the neural circuits used for reading and thinking deeply are weakening or eroding. One wildly important goal. You don't have to think about everything all at once. You can focus on one goal at a time and still be aware of one wildly important goal you need to do. To do this, you need to be willing to make hard choices about what's really important and then focus on that goal for the week. Once the organisation is focused on the wildly important goal, they need to leverage its resources. The authors say that organisations need to use their people, time and money in the most effective way possible to achieve their goals. They need to use what they have and not try to do too much. Discipline number 2. Act on the lead measure. The second discipline is to focus more energy on the activities that are most important for achieving your goal. The lead measures are the measures of the activities most connected to achieving your goal. Lag measures and lead measures. A lag measure is a measurement of whether you've achieved your goal. A lead measure is a measurement of whether you're likely to achieve your goal. Lead measures are those that you can influence in the short term, that will have an impact on the long-term goal. A lag measure is hard to change, but a lead measure is something that you can control. For example, while you may not be able to control how frequently your car breaks down on the road, a lag measure, you can certainly control how frequently your car receives routine maintenance, a lead measure, and the more you act on the lead measure, the more likely you are to avoid a roadside breakdown. Define the daily and weekly measures. Now, most organisations create long-term plans that are inflexible and not able to adapt to the constantly changing needs and environment of the business. Discipline 2 requires you to identify daily and weekly goals that you can achieve. Each day or week, your team then selects the most important actions that will drive those lead measures. As a result, your team is developing a just-in-time strategy that allows them to swiftly adapt while keeping focused on the wildly important goal. You create lead measures, the movement of which becomes the driving force behind reaching the WIG, or wildly important goal. In the next months, your team will devote continuous effort to bringing these lead measures forward, and as we've seen with hundreds of teams, This commitment will be important to their success. For example, at the wig of losing weight. Obviously, your weight, as indicated on the bathroom scales, will be the lag measure. If you formatted this wig correctly, or if you defined it as reduce total body weight from 190 pounds to 175 pounds by May the 30th, you might as well have done it correctly. Once the lead measure is identified, it's important to set a goal for it. This is where many people fail. They either set an unrealistic goal or don't set a goal at all. And without a goal, it's impossible to know whether or not you're making progress. Here's a quick reminder before we continue. Make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe and notification button if you haven't already done so. That means that YouTube sends you more of these kinds of videos and it helps our channel as well. Now, let's get back to the video. Discipline 3. Keep a compelling scoreboard. The third discipline is to ensure that everyone is always aware of the score so that they can determine whether or not they're winning. This is an engagement discipline. The performance gap between a team that just understands its lead and lag measures as a concept and a team that knows its scoreboard is remarkable. A scoreboard is a visual representation of progress towards the goal. It should be simple, clear and easy to understand so that everyone in the organisation can track progress and stay motivated. If the lead and lag measures aren't captured on a scoreboard and updated regularly, people will become distracted. People stop paying attention when they don't know the score. When people can see it, they want to know if they're winning or losing. This makes them pay more attention. In Discipline 3, lead and lag measures are converted into a visually compelling scoreboard. Many people believe that being engaged leads to better results. However, we now know that good results lead to more engagement. This is particularly true when team members can see that their direct actions have an impact on the results. Nothing affects morale and engagement more powerfully than when someone feels like they're winning. In many cases, people are more engaged when they feel like they're winning. This is more powerful than money, benefit packages, working conditions, whether you have a best friend at work, or even whether you like your boss. All of these are typical measures of engagement. People work for money and some people will quit over money. But many teams are filled with people who are both well paid and unhappy in their jobs. Scoreboards can be a very powerful way to engage employees. A stimulating player scoreboard not only drives outcomes, but also harnesses the apparent force of progress to build a winning mindset. The authors say that it is essential for all employees to be bought into the goal and understand how they can help contribute to achieving it. Discipline number 4. Create a cadence of accountability. One way to stay on track is to create a cadence of accountability. A cadence is a rhythm or pattern of behaviour. To sustain results, organisations must develop a regular cadence of accountability in which they review progress, celebrate successes, and identify areas for improvement. This requires clear roles and responsibilities, as well as regular communication and feedback. Execution happens in Discipline 4. As we've said, Disciplines 1, 2 and 3 set up the game. But your team isn't in the game until you apply Discipline 4. Nothing gets done without execution. It's a process of taking your big picture goals and turning them into tangible, actionable items. And yet, for many organisations, execution is something that always seems to fall by the wayside. This is a discipline that brings the team members together. That's why it encompasses the other disciplines. A great team operates with a high level of accountability. This means that everyone's responsible for their actions and they work together towards a common goal. If it doesn't happen, then the team members will start working on their own projects and the team will fall apart. Organisations need to have the right systems and processes in place so they can sustain their results over time. They need to continuously improve and get better at executing their plan. In addition to holding people accountable, it's also important to have clear measures of progress. This way, everyone involved knows exactly how well they're doing and whether or not they need to make adjustments. Finally, it is essential to keep the end goal in mind at all times. This will help to prevent distractions and keep everyone focused on what needs to be done. By following these 4 disciplines, it's possible to successfully execute any plan. And that's all. Thank you for being all ears throughout the entire video. To create is effort, to copy is genius, Albert Einstein. And if you want to expand your income by building an online income, feel free to contact me so we'll get things moving right away. Remember, if you want to change your life, let's make a change together. You need to make a change.